in all of the world, there's graph scenes in pretty much every major city. They're all a little bit different, but to me, there's three that really stand out of having a style that the moment you see it, you could say this person's from there immediately, no questions asked. And that's Brazil, Busflow from SF, and then the Philly Hands. Why do you think that, I'm a big boxing fan, and Philly has just so many fighters that come out of it, and you got to start asking yourself, why is that? And why this relatively small place has so many people coming out who not only have the drive to fight, but the skill, like intense skill, and they like Bike Life, that whole culture's from
Yeah.
Philly. The Philly Shell is from Philly, and then you got the Philly Handstyles. Why do you think the Philly comes up with all this stuff?
Different
I
breeds.
mean, honestly, I think you just kind of said it, right? Like all these things that kind of almost seem unique to my city, is because they're being evolved here. Like I'm not gonna say that we don't reach out to other people, but we've always been like a man on an island, right? Like we got enough going on here that we don't gotta look out there and see what you're doing.
Mm.
So a lot of times in Philly, we didn't compete with like trends in New York. We competed within the trends within our city. You know what I mean? Like how they was dressing down West Philly or how they dressing down North Philly, as opposed to how niggas uptown are dressing. I mean, it's like the best I can describe it is that we have a true culture, a
Mm.
true like urban culture within our own. We got our own style of rap. We got our own style of dress. We're very proud of it, and it's traditional. You know, we pass these things down to each other. The young bulls do what they see the old heads doing. Like, it's good. It's for us. It's good. For everybody else, it's like, well, what y'all got going on?
Yeah.
Um, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of my city. I'm proud of and with the hand style thing, I think like once again, it's like man on an island. We didn't compete with New York in the way that they did their tags. We didn't compete with Baltimore in the way they did their tags. We started going our own route, and that evolved, and we enjoyed it. Saw all the flyness in it, and just kept building on it and building on it, and so like yeah, I think that's what it is. It's like if not to say if you stay to yourself that this is gonna happen, but this city kind of stayed to itself, and we just kept building together and building through generation to get what we got. So the Wickeds, the Tall Prince, the Hand Styles, the length, the way that we drop, we tag real tall. We take up
Mhm.
big spots. You know what I mean? We use our whole body when we slam. Like we we lean into ours. We had all of our letters got motion and strength, and for us, that's just how it's got to go down. This is how
Yeah.
you make your mark. For the rest of the world, they like, oh, I don't understand it. And I wouldn't expect them to. You know what I mean? I don't expect them to. But for those that can appreciate it, they see how much structure is really in it, how much tradition is really in it, and I think they get it because for us, tagging is fun.
Of course.
You'll never see nothing more funner than a Philly dude tag. Just the way that he gets down. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Philly dude, but I've seen other young bulls get down like, woo, he hot. And I'm talking about I seen him slamming like, woo, the hand is tight. Oh, the flares is popping. Yo, he got so much control over the way he pulling them letters.
Yeah.
Like that's our world. You know what I mean? We gladly share it, but we're not gonna be ashamed of it. We're gonna be proud of it. And
What if people from outside of Philly come in, or people who aren't from Philly, and they start rocking wickets and stuff like that? What do you think about
I mean, come on.
that?
It is what it is, man. Like, listen, when we have a few artists that have come to Philadelphia, and they're not from Philadelphia, who are pretty, I consider to be, reputable artists that are known. And they've come to Philadelphia and they've learned the hand styles and they participated in the hand styles with other Philadelphia artists, and they've kind of been indoctrinated into our little history, what I mean, the graph. And it seems like a healthy respect to me. It seems like the ultimate nod to liking something is going there, learning it, appreciating it, and then prolificating it with the people that proliferate. I mean, I just think it's fly if somebody takes that time and
Mhm.
comes here and not just learns the hand styles, but meets the artists that are doing the hand styles, understands the mindset, the mind frame. I hey, listen, not a lot of people can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we don't knock people that go to New York that ain't from New York, right? go live in New York, right? And become big artists in New York. We don't knock that, right? We like, oh, that's dope.
Yeah,
So I'm not gonna knock a dude coming to Philadelphia or a female coming to Philadelphia, learning these hand styles and
yeah.
making them look good, you know?
What about in terms of the youth? Because that plays a big role in passing all this down and this culture of graffiti to continue. Because in New York City, a big problem with a lot of older writers that were looked up to and have a lot of talent. They're kind of like stuck in their caves. They don't really teach the newer generation. And when you go to the
Mhm.
streets, you see a lot of I hate to say like toy shit in a way. Like, what do you guys think of passing down that like Philly style, that's like very unique hand style onto the younger generation? Do you see that happening like around you?
I mean, it, it's organic. It's either gonna happen or it's not. You know what I mean? It's so many variables that go into trying to like pass off this kind of information to another person. You know, how much are they willing to accept? Um, how much are you doing it in good faith? You know, you trying to create some of these guys, these old heads, they don't just want to pass down information. They want to create another them.
Mm.
They want to vicariously live through you. If they not doing it, they like, yeah, I put together a monster. That's all me. Like they want you to do everything that they say. Some guys are like that. Um, and some are just genuine good old heads that'll just give you good advice, right? But it's a journey of self-expression. So it's really on you as a person. Like, what kind of person are you? You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna accept good and bad, and you're gonna figure out which one is you. That I feel like you can only blame so much on old heads teaching young boys what to do right. When I was a young boy, they didn't teach me to do right. They pushed me out the way, like, get out of here. You trying to take up my space.
Mm.
So I had to fight to get in. But I learned, you know what I mean? I learned the respectful ways of getting down in graphs so that I didn't create enemies. You know what I mean? And I did that over time. I think they got to do it too. You
Mm.
know what I mean? Like, it's just how you blossom. Like, it's a part of graph. If you want to learn this subculture, then you got to put in time and really understand, everything about it. The people involved and how they think. You know, listen, the same rules that apply in the street don't apply in the train yard, right?
Mm.
Same rules, same rules that apply um with tagging don't apply with piecing. But you gonna get to certain places when you come to Philadelphia, they don't give a fuck about your piece. If you went over the tag that they like, they coming for you. So then them rules is right out the window. You dig what I'm saying? And in another place, it's vice versa. You know what I'm saying? It's just not acceptable if somebody tags over a piece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean they could treat the tags in Philly sometimes like throws. They do them top to bottom, end to end, just like something that in New York you'd only really do with a fill. I mean, people are starting to do it more with tags now, but probably because they get an influence from Philly. But I remember, I mean, I love going there and I love seeing the hands, and they'll make it fit perfectly into the building that it's at,
Oh
like it
yeah,
was meant to be there.
yeah, yeah. No, Philly dudes got a good eye for spots for tagging, especially with like tall prints or bogey spots.
Mhm.
You know, they realize that they can size their tag that they do. You know, the small tag they do, you can basically scale that same tag for 10 feet tall. And Philly guys are used to making that translation. You know what I mean? So if they see a good spot and they want it, I'm telling you, when I say a Philly rider uses his whole body, I don't mean he's just running down the wall. I'm talking about he bending his knees and pulling his arm all the way up to his tippy toes, and he's coming back around the side. You think this dude was like doing ballet or something? Because they literally, literally put themselves into the wall. You know what I mean? It, you have to like understand that to them, a solid hit is is where you get the fame. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? The more you get out here, the more of a street legend you're known to be. You know what I mean? Philly is very proud of um the tag, as they should, as we should be. You know, it is something that's unique to our city, and it goes so far back, the decades of history that we have with it. At this point, it's like, hey,
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is. The pioneers know about it because it's been here this long.
Yeah.